Here we go, battle number 5. I'm super excited about this one. I think it might be the most even battle we've seen yet. Azrael versus a Tyranid Broodlord. So this is not the Patriarch, it's a Broodlord. No psychic abilities, but it is very, very good in hand-to-hand combat. Azrael is going to get the first roll here as per alphabetical rules, and then we'll see where he gets placed on the board if he wins that roll. His weapon, Lion's Wrath, is a very, very good combo weapon, and if he can keep the Broodlord at distance, I think the range is going to really affect it. If the Broodlord, however, is able to get into cover and stay away from the ranged attack of Azrael, it's going to be quite a battle. The Broodlord also moves 8 inches, so it's 2 inches faster than Azrael. So we're going to hop over to the dice tray right now, get that roll going to see who's going to be starting for our 5th battle. And yeah, if you're cheering for Tyranid, go Broodlord. If you're cheering for Imperium and the Dark Angels, go Azrael. First roll of the game, let's see who is going first and who's going to be placed on the field where they wish. First roll is going to be for Azrael. Has a roll of a 3, and the Broodlord's got to get 4 or higher to get the first move here. And he rolled a 1. So Azrael will be set up on the field in his place of choice, and I'm going to do some strategy here, see where that is best, and then we're going to get over to Azrael's movement phase. Models have been set up. We have Azrael down in this corner here. I learned from the previous battle with the Death Leaper, want to try to keep that Broodlord away from any close cover as soon as it gets moving. So I've taken that away from it, hopefully, by placing Azrael there. And our Broodlord is over here. There is still a little bit of cover, but it's a bit further to get to. So we are going to see how this goes. We're going right to the movement phase. So we have Azrael moving 6, and we have our Broodlord moving 8. So Azrael is going to try to get this going as quickly as he possibly can to close up the space there and start popping shots off at the Broodlord. My Broodlord's going to try to move into cover though right away. There he is. So as these models move closer together, I'm just going to start getting the distance here, and I think Azrael's actually, yeah, he's already in range, and I think he's got line of sight. I'm just going to get down here to see. Yeah, so right off the bat, he's going to be able to shoot some shots here. We're going to go to the dice tray. This weapon, the Lion's Wrath, which is his bolter plasma combo, it does have rapid fire 1, which allows him an extra shot if it's within 12 inches. Definitely outside of range for that now, but as we keep moving, we're going to see how that goes. So the Broodlord has tried to move out. Even if it had moved into cover here, yeah, might have been a better idea to have done that. I was going to try to race over and get in here or get up top to jump on him. But Azrael is going to be able to shoot here. So this is going to be Lion's Wrath over in the dice tray in just a sec. Behind the dice rolling camera now for Azrael's first shoot. Lion's Wrath, 24 inches, is in range. It is 2 attacks hitting on a 2+. Strength 8 as well, which is fantastic. So both have fired. Azrael's a very good character. Going through the Rubicon Primaris, he is he's bigger and better than he was before for sure. It is a strength 8 weapon, as I mentioned, versus a toughness of 5. So this is going to be 3s to wound. A little bit less toughness, actually, than the Death Leaper. So we're looking for 3s. Both have wounded. This has a -3 to AP, which is probably one of the best range weapons we've seen, and that includes Abaddon and some of the psychic attacks even. So the Broodlord usually has a 4+ save, but it also has an invulnerable save of 4+. So this is going to be 4+ here. If it does not make a save, it will be reduced 2 damage per wound that goes through. So we're looking for 4+ here for the Broodlord. So it did save 1, rolled a 5, rolled a 2, however, which means that it has taken 2 damage, and that brings it down from 6 wounds to 4 wounds. Okay, so as we just saw, the Broodlord took 2 wounds from Azrael's Lion's Wrath ranged attack. They both start off with 6 wounds, so again, very, very fair and even. The Broodlord now, however, is down to 4, so it's definitely going to be seeking cover this time. So it's moving 8 inches. It's going to be in behind this pillar here. I'm just going to make sure this time that that's actually out of line of sight for Azrael, and he's going to have to come in closer. So I'm just getting down here. Yeah. So the Broodlord is now in cover. Azrael cannot hit it from where he is with Lion's Wrath, so it was able to hop out and do that. So Azrael is going to have to close the ground here. I am going to give the melee advantage to the Broodlord, but we'll see. Azrael's no slouch either when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. So we will see how he does if that does happen. Just checking again here from Azrael's angle. So the Broodlord is still completely covered. So just so you guys can see this line of sight here, there's a pillar just underneath this piece here. And if he was shooting, it would be going right through the post, which is not possible. So he can't get a shot. It's now moving back over to our Broodlord. And I think Azrael is going to try to come around this way. I'm going to leave the Broodlord for its move. So Azrael is going to move his 6 inches. Try to get this thing back into range or into line of sight. And he can just see it through the stairwell, but not really. So it's going back to the Broodlord here. He is going to pop out just underneath here. He's staying outside of that line of sight of Azrael. It's not going to last for too much longer though. Back to Azrael here for 6 inch. There it is. And now Azrael is in line of sight. He's going to be trying to kill the Broodlord here, because if he does not, next turn the Broodlord is going to be attacking in hand-to-hand. Azrael is in range. So we're going to go back over to the dice camera here and get this going here for Lion's Wrath again. Shoot phase number 2 for Azrael. He's kind of chased this Broodlord into a corner. He is firing again with Lion's Wrath, so 2 attacks hitting on a 2+. And actually he's within that 12 inches, so he's going to get that rapid fire 1. And he has 3 shots off, 4, 5, 6, fantastic. Strength 8 against toughness 5, 3s to wound. So that's not as good. 2 fell off, so we have 1, 1, and then a 4, but that 4 will hopefully do some damage. So that again is -3 to AP, bringing the Broodlord up to a 4+ invulnerable save. Did not make it, so the Broodlord has lost 2 additional wounds, from 4 wounds down to 2, but it is going back over to the Broodlord now for their movement and hand-to-hand combat. So Azrael was able to do an additional 2 wounds with Lion's Wrath, but now it is going to get dicey as the Broodlord is in range for hand-to-hand combat and is attacking Azrael. So this is going to be initiative Broodlord to fight Azrael, and it definitely has the capability to kill him outright if it rolls really well. So we're going to hop over to the dice tray here in just a sec and check that out. So the Broodlord has jumped into hand-to-hand combat. This is the Broodlord's advantage here. Incredible hand-to-hand. It has 5 attacks, hitting on a 2+, strength 6, and it is twin-linked. So that means that the Broodlord can re-roll missed wound rolls. So 2 pluses here at 5 attacks. 1 spinning. See how it lands. Wow. So it is a 2. 1 fell off there, so Azrael may be in trouble here. We have 2, 2, 3, 4. It's strength 6 against toughness 4. So this is going to be wounding on 3s, and they can be re-rolled if needed. And that re-roll is going to help a lot. So we had 1, 4, however 1, 1, 2 failed, but because they are twin-linked, it gets to roll again. And this is 3+. All are through. Oof, not good. Okay, so Azrael usually has a 2+ save. The invulnerable is 4+, and the AP, so the armor penetration of the Broodlord, claws and talons, is a -2. So this brings Azrael up to his 4+ invulnerable. Any failed save here is going to be 2 damage per, so we need to have our 4+. So let's see how he does. Saved, did pretty good. So 4, 5, 6, all saved. These two are 2 damage. So Azrael is down to 4 wounds, and just as I thought, this is going to be quite a scrap. So back to the other camera, just that top view down. The Broodlord was able to attack and get some wounds in, so Azrael's down to 4. We are going to have Azrael's counter attack now. I just wanted to show that. So it is 4 wounds Azrael, 2 wounds Broodlord. Back to the dice roll camera for the Sword of Secrets versus the Broodlord. Okay, and here we go. So Azrael counterattacking here. 6 attacks. He's good. He's really good. Very, very well-rounded character. Great ranged weapon and a pretty damn good melee weapon too. So let's see how this does. It's 6 attacks hitting on 2+. We got all through. Fantastic. It is strength 6 versus toughness 5 of the Broodlord. So this is hitting on, or wounding on 3s. No reroll here though, because it's not twin link. That was not a great roll. So we have 3 1s and a 2. 2 have gone through. It's -4 to AP, which is fantastic. However, the Broodlord does have the 4+ invulnerable. It is not mortal wounds, so it's going to be able to make it save here. And we're looking for 2 4+ or above for the Broodlord. And with that, 2 damage per attack. The Broodlord was able to save 1, so it either like took it off the chitin or it deked it or something. And then the final swipe by Azrael plunged in or sliced the guts out of the Broodlord, and he has killed it. So with this unsaved wound, it's 2 damage per. The Broodlord had 2 wounds remaining, so Azrael has won fight number 5, and we'll be moving on to round 2. There's our victor for fight 5. It was a good one. I thought it would be. Broodlord, a little bit of a disadvantage there, just not having any ranged attack at all and not really being able to get into cover until the second turn. Kind of my bad too. I should have maybe plunged it straight towards that pillar right off the bat. Azrael is the Supreme Grand Master of the Dark Angels, and he did not disappoint. He is quite good, as I was saying on the camera, and even against, bad guys like Abaddon or Typhus, I think he might hold his own. So we will see who he's going to be taking on from this next fight. The next fight is Grandmaster Voldus of the Grey Knights versus the Orc Warboss in Mega Armor. That's going to be another really good scrap. We'll see how Voldus does. I've never really used Grey Knights. I've used Orcs quite a bit, as you guys saw in my Crusade narrative, as well as my Last Stand series. If you guys want to check those out, they're on other playlists under my channel. So I know how to use the Orc Warboss really well, which might play in its favor a little bit, but we will see how it goes. But back to Azrael, kicked some ass. He, did get wounded, but he was able to dispense of the Broodlord pretty quickly. So very, very good job, and he is moving on to round 2. Be back in a bit with the next fight.